The next segment of our presentation is with our veterinary panel. Veterinary panel today consists of Doctors Randy Wallstrom, Jeffrey Euler, and JJ Goicoechea, and each one of them will speak for 10 minutes. And at the end of that, we will have another question and answer session. If you do have questions, though, during any of the presentations, please go ahead and send them to us on the Q&A during the presentation. So our first speaker, I believe, is Dr. Wallstrom. And so we're going to get, Robert's going to get him queued up. And we will sink a spur and go momentarily.
Randy, we're needing you to turn on your video.
There we go.
I think we're there.
We can hear you and we can see you.
Okay.
It's all yours.
All righty. Well, Barry said that he didn't have time to tell a dirty joke, so I'll start off for him. I heard recently that if you put a cowboy in a sealed room with an anvil, within about 5 minutes, one of three things would happen. He'd either lose it, break it, or make it pregnant. Okay, well, we better go on from that. So I have been asked to talk a little bit about weaning problems in calves. And what I see most commonly is coccidia and pneumonia. Classic in spring calving cows. You see it not as commonly in the fall calvers, but again, this year, you'd think that we would get a handle on it. It doesn't ever seem to go away. That's where the vaccinations become so critical for the pneumonia. If you can vaccinate 3 weeks before you wean and then booster either on weaning or preferably a week before you wean, then you're going to be way ahead. And the vaccine would be an IBR, BBV, PI3, BRSV, which are the 4 common viruses, and also the Pasteurella and Mannheimia. It makes an incredible difference. The thing that goes along that with, though, is because we are generally in low copper and low selenium areas, then that's about the best time that if you're ever going to use something like multimin, and of course that's the more expensive way to go rather than using trace mineral supplements oral, but that's the time when you get the most mileage. Multimin generally is going to only give you about 4 or 5 weeks of benefit, but at vaccination time, it makes an incredible difference. So what you're trying to do is boost their immunity. You can't generally control all of the stresses, but you can control the exposure. And so if you are, you can control one stress, and that is if you are weaning into a dust-laden area, then boy, that is tough. And this year over on the west side of the state, we got to deal with a whole bunch of smoke. One time I was driving down to post a couple of calves on Highway 395, and I was behind some dog that was just moseying along, and I couldn't see far enough ahead to pass. The smoke was that dense. It was off the scale. And sure enough, the calves had died of pneumonia, and I'm sure what pushed them over the edge was the additional stress. Not only will we have the swings in temperature, for 60-degree swings in temperature, you're going to start seeing the precipitation of pneumonia, but also the smoke on top of that. And these calves actually were on permanent pasture, and had been vaccinated. So that's stuff that you can't really control. But you can control exposure to a point if you can spread them out. And that's when it's time to bunk break them if you can. But if you put them in a dusty feedlot, then that's going to aggravate it. The other thing that I see a fair bit every fall is coccidia. And there are a number of ways to handle that. If you have to treat it, there's only one treatment that will actually kill the bugs. It's caused by a protozoa, and that is Improlium. Corid is the most common brand name, and that will actually kill the bug. A 5-day treatment orally. You can put it into water troughs if you're dealing with a lot of calves, or you can put it orally in a wine bottle or something and dose individual calves. There is a group of compounds called ionophores, which can be fed. That's what they do generally in feedlots. And the ionophore, most common one that we see used is Rumensin. You can buy Rumensin blocks if you know going into it that you've either had a problem or you suspect you could. Then you can put out Rumensin blocks, and the ionophore in there will keep the bugs, the protozoa, from actually multiplying and causing the problem. It doesn't actually kill the stuff. It holds it in check, but it does give the calves time to beef up their immunity and get them through this critical point when they're so stressed. The other thing to consider, though, is if you're trying to raise natural or something like that, you need to make sure that that is acceptable to keep the calves in the program that you've chosen. And again, the trace mineral supplements can be really, really critical for that, helping that situation. So I think I'm about done. Any questions? And I will try and jump on them. Oh, Barry. Oh, Barry.
Yes, sir. Can you hear me? Randy?
I got muted again. Yeah, I'm
You
listening.
can hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. Are you done?
Yes.
That's what I wanted to make sure of.